Hey guys, welcome back to the English Gentleman Gaming with me, Roscoe. Apologies it's been such a long time since I did a commentary. Just events in real life have kind of not given me a lot of time to actually sit down and do the commentary bit. I've managed to grab the odd game here and there recently. Not so much to do actual commentary. This is from last night. Bad Company 2, as nearly everyone will know. Harvest Day, again, which most people will know. And it's Conquest, which is slightly unusual for me, but I would normally play Rush, as anyone who follows my channel will know, but I decided to also include the Conquest servers just simply because I'm hoping that will mean I'll get a full-ish server. I think the chances of ever getting 12 on 12 on Bad Company 2 on PS3 are quite slim these days, but I think I've had 10v10. This is a 6v6 when it started out. I think it ended 8v8. But it's from last night, and it was very enjoyable. As you can see, we started off by capturing all 4 points. There was a fucking guy went past me there, the exact thing I wanted to stop, and I turned the turret the wrong way, so by the time I actually managed to get him remotely in my sights, he'd long gone into the distance. It was a very fun game. The first few kills you saw at the beginning was the previous round. I joined quite late on. I think we only had 25 tickets left when I joined, and despite my best efforts getting 4 kills and recapturing B, we lost fairly quickly, so I just thought I'd throw them in there. There's a bit of an intro, slap a bit of music on there. But the main meat of today's commentary is the fact that DICE admitted, going back a little bit of time, a couple of weeks ago, DICE have responded to the question of Bad Company 3. I personally would love it. I think Bad Company 2 is easily my favourite first-person shooter ever, on any system, any platform, whatever. It's by far the best. There's enjoyable moments in Battlefield 3. The reason why I play Battlefield 3 at the moment is more because it's a bit busier, and I can usually get in 12v12, which is as good as a PS3 gets these days. Well, Bad Company 2 will always, like a lot of people, it will always be my favourite. We all have different reasons. I mean, I watched a video yesterday and a young lad said it was basically the first M-rated game he was allowed to play, and that's why he will always look back on it fondly. Slightly strange way of picking your favourite game, the fact it's the first one that was an 18 as it is in Britain and that you're allowed to play, but there you go. I don't even think it is a 15 an 18 in this country, but there you go. My aim was a bit crappy there, I have to admit. Well, DICE have said they've been asked a lot to do Bad Company 3, which is good. And they finally actually put something in writing, because in the past they've just been a bit cagey about it and said it's not something immediately on in the forefront of their minds, but it's not completely off the radar. It seems the biggest issue is they don't know why we like it. It seems most gamers, and certainly most of the people I watch or speak to on Twitter or YouTube or whatever, they also think Bad Company 2 is more fun. And they still, quite a few people still play it every now and again. And I still play it mainly because I haven't got Battlefield 4. Having today watched the trailer for Dragon's Teeth, I can't see it happening, to be honest. The only way I'd ever buy Battlefield 4 is if I could get the digital copy for a tenner. Because I did actually enjoy the game, I will be honest. The 3 or 4 rounds I managed were quite good fun. All the unlocks and stuff were alright, but if it was a choice between Battlefield 4 and Bad Company 2, it's an easy choice for me. This is just more fucking fun. But this lad also mentioned some stuff I'd never really thought about that much, to be honest. One of them was the class balance. Now I'm not really sure what he quite meant by that. I don't think any one class is particularly overpowered in any of the games personally. It might be that I play so infrequently that I don't notice any of the imbalances. I do find myself getting sniped an awful lot in Battlefield 3. I'm not exactly. I think that's possibly due to the nature of the kind of the teams, if you will, more than anything else. God, my aim was appalling there again. I don't think I fucking finished him off this time either. No, I get done by him with a fucking grenade. Excuse me. Like my recent match on Metro was a rush match on Battlefield 3, and the only times I died were from snipers. The 6 or 7 poor bastards who were actually trying to arm the MCOMs, they didn't get anywhere because our team was quite effective. Whereas there was 3 or 4 snipers on their team who all racked up 30 and 2 kind of numbers, and they were just sat at the back fucking laughing the cocks off, basically. Whereas this map, as an example, on Rush, there's no point in the sniper sitting in the spawn area, if you will, deployment zone, or whatever it calls it, because it's so far from the action, it would take a fucking miracle to actually hit anyone, so you've got to get off your ass and move forward. I do think the Recon class, as it's called, is a bit weak, personally, in Battlefield 3. If there was a weak class, I would say it's the Recon one. Mainly because I don't like that tug sensor is definitely crapper than the sensor grenade ball thing that you get in this game. Obviously you can just chuck it over a wall without necessarily putting yourself in danger, whereas that tug sensor, you've got to be there, obviously, you've got to plant it at your fucking feet, and I personally find sometimes get myself in a bit of trouble trying to do it. And the spawn beacon thing, that's alright, but obviously it gets abused. You get motherfuckers putting them on cranes miles away from the action. I mean, I was playing Carg Island recently, and all three of my squad mates were camped at the very left hand side of the map, attacking the final two MCOMs, completely ineffective. There was like one guy they were all fucking shooting at. So anyway, this guy mentioned that he thought the balance was better overall. I don't really have an issue with the fact that they changed round which character supplies ammo and which character supplies health. It doesn't really affect me personally. If I'm attacking in rush mode, say, whichever character dishes out the health is who I'm going to play, because you need the tickets. Well, sometimes you do. If you're playing an 100% one, actually 75 tickets rather than these 500% fucking 400 ticket things, then I think you need the tickets back. But Dicey's main complaint, which I thought was a bit of a fucking dig at us, to be honest. I was quite lucky there, because the sights on this gun are shit. I don't know why I picked it. I think it's because I didn't want to use the AKS-74U, which is my normal engineer weapon. That was quite funny. That motherfucker ran me over, then got run over himself. That was quite poetic. But I think I ended up going back to the AKS-74U in the end, because the sights on that UMP are shit, and I don't run the red dot sight on engineer class because I want the ammo upgrade. That's one thing I do like. One thing I definitely prefer on this is the way you unlock the red dot sight for each class. So once you've earned the red dot sight for engineer, you can apply it to any weapon. None of this. One thing that irritates me on Battlefield 3 is I personally find the red dot sight the most effective one, but sometimes you've got to. Sometimes it's unlocked first on Battlefield 3 for a weapon. Other times it's unlocked last, and it fucking pisses me off that DICE want me to sit there for 350 kills with a shite gun that I won't normally use just to get the red dot sight. I mean, I don't really use that many different guns in Battlefield 3. I think in assault class I use that AUG A3 is the preferred one, or sometimes the AN94. That L56A2, whatever it is, for the support class, just because I find it's a bit more punch than the PKP, Pecheneg or Pecheng, whatever you want to call that one. Anyway, you get the idea that, and to get those weapons, I find it a bit of a grind. And whereas in Bad Company 2, I prefer the fact that once you've unlocked the red dot sight for your class, then you can apply it easily to any weapon. I think that's great. Well, DICE's main complaint was that they can't actually figure out what we prefer about it. Now, to my mind, if they had a fucking quality control team worth their salt, they could simply ask them to play it. They've obviously have the source code to review, and they could, say, try and figure out what's the fucking magic sauce, because that's what they seem to be missing. Didn't get very many mine kills last night. I did put quite a few out there, but I didn't get many kills, unfortunately. I think I got one kill later on. Oh, just a little other thing on this. I think this is where I give up on that fucking UMP thing. What I've decided to do, I don't think I'm going to end up talking for all 26 minutes because you'll be all bored of me, so any kills or any exciting moments that happen after I've finished kind of commentating, I'll just slap them on, cut the rest of the video down and slap it on the end with a bit of music, so you won't miss anything exciting. Because in Conquest in particular, I find there can be times where it's like 2 or 3 minutes where nothing at all exciting happens. But that's not necessarily a fault of Bad Company 2, it's just the nature of the game type in general. Anyway, I digress. I also think DICE aren't trying to do too much in this game. The thing that strikes me about Battlefield 4 in particular is the PC, for example. If you've got a decent PC, you can handle quite a lot. The PS3 can't, and I think Battlefield 4, it's evident that the maps are designed for 64 players, and to get 24 on PS3 means it can be empty, basically. Which is another reason why I prefer Rush mode on PlayStation, is that all the targets, objectives, whatever, in one place. I do think that the one where you got to carry the bomb, I forget the name of the game mode, in Battlefield 4, that was quite good on the PlayStation, because obviously everyone's around the one object, not just two. Although my experience of Rush was quite disappointing, just mainly because we got fucking slapped out of sight completely in all the rounds that I managed to play. But the one where you got to shift the bomb around and arm the 3 different objectives, that was quite good fun. But DICE are basically admitting that Battlefield 2, Bad Company 2 is the player's preferred game, and they don't fucking know why. There's a couple of magazine articles I read where some of the things they suggest is like, in Bad Company 2 you can destroy every building, or virtually all of them anyway, and if there's an MCOM inside it, then it gets automatically squashed. I mean, Arica Harbour, widely known by people who follow this channel anyway, has been my favourite map of all time. That's another one. I think it's the AMCOM on that one. It's in a concrete building that you can just fucking squash. There was a tank behind me here that didn't bother shooting me for some reason, but there was 3 or 4 of these fuckers quite persistent around this C flag last night, and it took a bit of shifting at one point. But again, I don't really know all the answers to. I can tell you why I prefer this game. I think it's simple in a way. DICE doesn't try to do anything too clever. You get that motherfucker got me loads, but my aim was quite shit there. It doesn't try to be too clever. There's 2 attachments for each gun. You can, in terms of sights, you get 2 attachments. You can upgrade your ammo, which is a fucking number in the corner. It doesn't even require anything different graphically or anything. There's a good number of vehicles, because you've got quad bikes, you've got the cav things, whatever they're called, that I was riding around in earlier. You've got your tanks, you've got your helicopters, you've got your boats. For those levels that have got water on them, or some of the levels that have got water on them. There's me one fucking mine kill. I just can't put my finger on exactly why Battlefield 3 never feels quite as much fun. I always get the impression that players aren't really that arsed about winning. And I think something that sucks the kind of life out of it in a way is that you can't win on your own in Battlefield 3. It's very, very difficult to be playing Rush and basically take on a team on your own. It's difficult to get to an MCOM, defend it or whatever, and win on your own, basically. Whereas in Bad Company 2, especially if it's like 8v8, it's not uncommon that one guy, like ideally me, can basically take on the whole of the fucking not necessarily when I say take them on, I don't mean actually go and fucking mow them all down and then while they're all waiting to be revived go and arm the MCOMs. What I'm saying is, like, at Nelson Bay, the final 2 MCOMs, it's not difficult for someone to sneak into that submarine base, get the MCOM on and find somewhere half decent to hide and win, basically. Whereas Battlefield 3, I never get the impression that anyone's that arsed about winning. Even though people will play well together, I get the distinct impression more people are bothered about the kill-death ratio, and it's quite uncommon for a team, or your teammates, your squad mates, to actually want to go out there and earn the win and not be bothered about the kill-death ratio. Yeah, my kill-death ratio is always 0.8 on every game I play. I don't know why, but I'd get plenty of I get a team repair medal, I think, in a minute, because me and this lad who are knocking about this tank stay in it for a while, so I get a lot of the teamwork ribbons and medals and stuff. But like the sniper rifle one, I've not even earned that one yet. I got the assault rifle medal in Battlefield 3, but I've not even earned the sniper rifle one yet, because I don't use it very often, so I don't find it particularly effective when in recon playing Rush, because what's the fucking point? It's not. They were fucking sharp, them lads down there on that C flag, trying to get me with them fucking rockets. So yeah, DICE have admitted that, just to sum up then, DICE have basically admitted that Bad Company 2 is still the fan favourite, which does kind of make you question why they've bothered making Battlefield Hardline. Although I do applaud, is it Visceral Games? I do applaud them for taking it a bit different away from the purely military one. adding, the thing about Battlefield is that I always found I had more fun on a more regular basis in Bad Company 2, whereas I don't always enjoy Battlefield 3. A lot of things have to happen. I find a lot more one-sided fucking scraps in Battlefield 3. Either us dishing out the fucking pastings or us getting a pasting. Compared with Bad Company 2, where I never found it that difficult for, say there was 3v5, I was never that daunted that we weren't going to be able to hold our own, basically. With Battlefield 3, I get a lot more one-sided games, in my opinion. I was trying to fucking spot this bastard who was down there, but the guy in the tank might have taken him out. But like I say, they were quite persistent around the C flag, these guys, last night. I mean, they put up a good fight, don't get me wrong. Although I didn't unfortunately make it right to the end. I think I had to finish. I think we had about 85 tickets left and they had 20. So I'm not dead sure that we won, but I was pretty confident. It might have been 115 or something, but we were definitely more organised when it came. My fucking aim was appalling again. We were definitely more organised when it came to actually attacking the conquest, the flags. We weren't particularly great at defending them though. And you see quite a few times they ended up spawning in our deployment area just to get the cav. Only because it's quite effective, I thought. I actually got quite a few kills with the cav last night. So, much to my, I'm not sure what amusement's not the right word, but much to my pleasure, I suppose, is the right way of putting it. Dice do appear to be ready in the fucking fingers to start coding Battlefield 3, which is good, obviously, because I think it's about bloody time. I think they flogged Battlefield long enough. They've got fucking paste. Battlefield 3 wasn't exactly tip top when it first came out, and Battlefield 4 was in even worse condition, purely because no matter what anyone ever says at fucking EA or EA put the squeeze on them to beat Call of Duty out that year. Hardline seemed alright. I mean, I didn't download the beta, whatever, but I never actually managed to play it. But I don't know why they persist on it, this Battlefield. I mean, they seem to get good sales numbers and stuff that EA worry about. Excuse me, having a slurp of tea there. I've been talking for 17 minutes now. But I don't, all the fans, the people. I was trying to fucking wallop my way through this building, but it just didn't happen in time. I think I got killed in the end. DICE know we all prefer playing Bad Company 2. So therefore, we all want Bad Company 3. And yet they persist on making other games. I don't understand the logic. I understand they're doing a Star Wars game. Battlefront? I don't think I've ever played a battle or even seen a Battlefront game, but we'll see. So I at least applaud Visceral for doing something different, taking it away from the military thing, but I'm still hoping that at some point it won't be this year, it won't be in 2014, but I do hope that in 2015 we see some signs of fucking life from Bad Company 3. I mean, from what I remember reading somewhere, and I might be talking total shit here, Bad Company 2 was like a Skunkworks thing that the programmers were working on another game, which I don't know what it would have been, but they did it in their free time basically. And they weren't doing it normal 9 to 5 office. I don't know what made me think that was a fucking player there, to be honest. They weren't doing it in the normal 9 to 5 job. They were doing it afterwards. They were staying late and they did it, and they were all had a lot. I think what comes across in the game is that the fact that the developers reportedly had fun developing it, and that made it fun to play. Whereas you get the impression that Battlefield 3 and even more so in Battlefield 4 were kind of not necessarily formulaic, but rushed out to meet their paymasters' wishes more than anything else. Not because they had a definitive vision of what they wanted. They just basically were told Battlefield 2 was good, whatever, recreate that, update it, let's make some fucking money. It doesn't come across to me ever that they had a lot of fun. But there's my opinion, gents. So there is a few kills left to go, so I shall leave you with the kills. I will definitely get another commentary out this week. My schedule is a little bit easier, so I can do another commentary. I'm not sure I'll get any. I did lose all my gameplays recently. The drive that they were on in this computer was fucking failed on me, so I've got a very limited library now of gameplay. Not that I probably would have used that many of what I had. Maybe some of the Dishonored ones, I don't know. This guy was fucking gallus not to know I was behind him. But anyway, so guys, have fun. I'll catch up with you later in the week, and enjoy the rest of the kills. Take it easy. Bye.